Hey guys, and welcome back. It's 1994 and Capcom releases Knights of the Round for the Super NES, which is a port of their popular arcade hack and slash that was released 3 years earlier. The game was set in medieval times and is based around the famous legend of Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. What makes Knights of the Round stand out from the rest is its guard system and leveling feature, not to mention that it also features awesome two-player cooperative play. The story of the game works like this. Once Arthur pulls the Excalibur from the rock, he realizes that to fulfill his destiny, he needs to become the first king of the Britons. He goes to see Merlin, and the wizard ends up sending Arthur and his two best buddies on the road to overthrow the evil king Garibaldi. Once this is done, Arthur can realize his destiny as the first true king. The player gets to choose between one of the 3 available knights. There's Lancelot, who's quicker than the other two, but not quite as strong. Arthur, who's a really good and well-rounded character with powerful attacks and moderate speed. And finally there's Percival, who's the strongest of the 3, but also the slowest. In my opinion, Percival is the best character to play as throughout the game. His range is the best of the 3, and he has a really useful dashing move that the other 2 don't. It's not that the other 2 can't be useful as well, it's just that Percival has that slight advantage. On your way through the 7 stages of the game, you'll run into countless treasures and items. The treasure adds bonus points to your experience and can be hit and split into several smaller treasures that are usually worth more total points. I would recommend chopping up each one you see in order to get the maximum amount of experience. The leveling system in the game is pretty simple. You build up XP throughout the game and it's added to your total at the top of the screen. Below your life bar is the amount that you'll need to reach the next level. Each time you level up, your appearance will change a bit. Sometimes it's not that noticeable, like a sword upgrade or a single piece of armor changing. Later on in the game, though, your character will look completely different than he did when you first started. There are a total of 16 character levels in the game, but I've never been able to get any of the characters any higher than about 13 or so. The key to Knights of the Round is using the guard system intelligently. It's borderline impossible to finish the game without utilizing it, and it can make a lot of the bosses a lot easier to deal with. To use the guard system, wait for an enemy to attack you and hit the X button. You'll defend the shot and then become invincible for a moment and can counter with a combo of your own. It takes some time to get used to, but once you do, the enemies don't put up much of a fight. Every single enemy attack in the game is able to be blocked, with the exception of the final boss's Ring of Fire attack. The graphics in Knights of the Round look good and really close to the original arcade version. There are a couple of background details missing here and there, and a few less enemies on screen than the arcade, but all in all it's a great port graphically. There's lots of detail and a pretty fair balance of enemy characters to take out. The sound is alright but not great. The clangs and slashes of the arcade version are severely muted here and you can barely hear them at all. There are a couple of standout music tracks, but most of the songs in the game are pretty forgettable. My favorite tracks from the game are the one from the map screen and this one that you hear when finishing a stage. The controls are okay, but it's a bit slower than, say, King of Dragons. There are times where you'll feel like you can't react quick enough when surrounded, but most of the time it works pretty well. In closing, Knights of the Round is a fun and unique hack and slash. The 2-player mode is lots of fun with a friend, and the game is challenging enough to keep you coming back for more. It's gotten kinda hard to find over the years and can end up costing you a fair amount on eBay, but for around $20 or so it's a worthwhile purchase. I honestly think that Knights of the Round is one of Capcom's best beat-em-up titles, and it's easily one of the best ones on the Super NES. I would recommend Knights of the Round to any hack-and-slash fan who's looking for something a little bit different, or fans of games like Golden Axe and King of Dragons. It's a fun game that's worth a couple of playthroughs just to see how high you can level each character, and it's always fun to pull out when you've got friends over. And that's going to wrap things up for Knights of the Round, but until next time, guys, stay classic.